Strong for God Warriors, here to talk about life from a biblical and spiritual perspective. And today, I would like to share with you all how I started out on YouTube. So, I should have done this video like a long time ago, like, this should have been like my first video. But, better late than never. So, let's get into it. So, how did I get here on YouTube? Well, to start off, this was not my first choice. I graduated from high school in, like a few months ago, or 6 months ago, back in June. And I really wanted to go to the military. I was in the ROTC when I was in high school. I loved it. I was one of the best. And then, after I graduated, I called a recruiter and see if I can get into the military. And of course, they said they couldn't take me because I have kidney disease. And that was like a really bad punch in the face. So, I knew I wanted to preach, but the military was like my biggest thing I wanted to do. Like, I was actually going to try to go into the military and be a preacher there. Because I've heard some people say that you could do that. But since they didn't let me in, I just felt like I was in complete darkness. In Malachi chapter 7, verse 8, it says, "Do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light." And just thinking about that verse, yes, I felt like I did not know where to go. I knew that everything happened for a reason, and I knew that God had a plan for me. I don't know if you ever heard about the Odyssey, which was a Greek mythology story about a man named Odysseus, who went on this epic journey around the world, and he had one crew of like one ship after he had conquered the country Troy. And I mean, he had a whole big epic journey. Like, he was all over the place. He killed a cyclops. He survived Scylla and Charybdis, which was like a whirlpool, and a snake with like 7 heads. And anyway, halfway in his story, his ship was sailing right. He was about to go home to Greece, and they were so close that they could see the houses on the land in front of them. And then somebody had opened the bag of winds, and they went sailing completely in a whole different direction. And that's how I felt in my life at that point. I was almost to where I wanted to be. I was so close. I could see it on the horizon. But then I went completely in another direction. And so, with this being said, a few months later, I got the idea to go on YouTube because I was not happy with myself that I wasn't doing a whole lot to serve God. Like, I was reading the Bible and all that, but I felt like I really wanted to do something big for God. So big. And so, I got this idea to get on YouTube. And this leads me to my next point. My channel name, Strong for God Warriors. Now, think about it for a minute. What does that make you think about? Well, I'm going to tell you what it makes me think about. So, the Strong for God part. So, unless you were born yesterday, you would know that everybody goes through something on earth. Everybody has a struggle. For me, it's medical problems with kidney disease. But for you, it might be something else. It might be financial problems, relationship problems, problems with having faith. Whatever it is, we're all going through something. And although it gets tough and we may feel like we want to give up sometimes, we have to be strong for God. Strong for God. Like, to be honest, all the reason I'm still struggling through dialysis because I absolutely hate it. All the reason I haven't given up yet is because of God and the people that I love. I know that I have a duty to withhold for God. I know that He put me here for a special reason. There's work for me that only I can do. And I know that because I wouldn't be here if God didn't have work for me to do. So, we got to be strong for God always. And if you read in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." So, have to be strong for God. And the warrior part comes from life on earth is a spiritual war, as I've already stated in my previous videos. Good versus evil. You may see that people just walk around in daily life doing whatever you do, and then in the spiritual realm there are angels and demons always fighting. And guess what? We're part of it too. Although we don't always see those spiritual beings, we are all in this spiritual war. Every decision you make is going into the spiritual war. And so, I don't want to be considered as weak. I am a warrior, and you should be too. So if you put that together, strong for God warriors, that one phrase, those those 4 words, they pack a lot of punch in them when you say it. Think about it. Strong for God warriors. And if you read in Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 20, it says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms." Talking about God. When you have God on your side, you are powerful enough to destroy whole kingdoms. And when I say this, I'm really talking to all those people out here that worry and just have a whole lot of worry and doubt going on in their lives. Really, you have nothing to worry about if you believe in God. All the people that have something to worry about are those who do not believe in God. As I've just said in that verse, God gives you the power to take down whole kingdoms if you need to. So, you best believe that anything going on in your life, God has it ready for you. God has the blessing ready for you. You just have to be strong. And then after you are victorious in all this, you stay strong in God. It says in Revelation chapter 21 verse 7, "Those who are victorious will inherit all this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children." God himself said that. So, moving on. My channel logo. I don't know if you've seen my channel logo or not. You probably did. But it is the symbol of a lion face. And that is my symbol. I claim to be a lion for God. Spiritually, a lion represents raw spiritual power, courage, and it's just really powerful and ferocious meaning. And us as warriors of God, we have to be like that. We have to be ferocious and always stand to the highest standards, because we are in God's military. We serve God, the Most High. And so we must be nothing less than a fighting warrior. Even in Revelation chapter 5, Jesus was called the Lion of Judah. And for those who may not know, Judah was the one of the tribes of Israel, and it was the tribe that Jesus descended from. So that's how you know that. And my channel colors. So first of all, the yellow in the background. Yeah, yellow is my favorite color. And I also thought that that would go perfectly with my lion logo. I didn't want the whole lion because I wanted it to be just a symbol. But that symbol can go really, really far. The people that know me personally, they know that I am very, very skinny and kind of short. But as far as spirituality goes and the Bible and my voice, I am as powerful as a lion. So, although I am small physically, I am big spiritually. And even when I was in high school, my senior quote in the yearbook, physically, I am the smallest in the class, but spiritually, I am the biggest. And so that was in the yearbook. So if you are watching my channel and you don't even feel like saying Strong for God Warriors, you could just call me the Lion, because that summarizes my whole name in just one word. At this time, I would like to give a huge, huge shout out to my grandma, because without her, I would not be half the warrior that I am today. She trained me since I was like really little, like 2 or 3. She taught me the Bible. She taught me how to carry myself properly. She taught me the power of courage, faith, and everything that I know today. A lot of stuff that I talk about on my channel came from her. So if you congratulate me for all the things that I've said on my channel, don't do that unless you're going to congratulate my grandma also. So, shout out to her. I did a video with her called Inspiration for 2019. And so go watch that. I'll link that down in the description. And also, check out my friend, Honcho Dom. He started his YouTube channel a few weeks ago. His videos are really good. His videos are slightly different from mine, but we all have the same interest at heart, which is to make the world a better place. So if you're going through something in your life, make sure you go check out his channel. He will take your mind right off it. So, if you haven't accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior, make sure you do that if you haven't already. Because just by you looking at this video, you can see what God has done for me. And I'm sure He can do something just as good for you. So, if you haven't accepted Him yet, go ahead and do that. That is your first step. And then the rest will come. Be blessed, and remember, stay strong for God.